Well, after he returned as the Nutty Professor in 2000, A. Murphy took on a sequel for the other character he kind of reinvented in a way, Dr. Dolittle. In a much more fun-filled sequel, in my opinion anyway. Here it is. This is my review of Dr. Dolittle 2. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2001 fantasy comedy flick Dr. Dolittle 2, released by Fox, directed by Steve Carr, and written by Larry Levin, one of the co-writers of the first film. A. Murphy returns as the titular character of Dr. Dolittle, along with Kristen Wilson back as his wife, plus Raven-Symone and Kyla Pratt. Also on board are Jeffrey Jones and Kevin Pollak. And it also features an all-star cast of voices that includes Steve Zahn, Lisa Kudrow, Norm Macdonald, back from the first film, plus Mike Epps, Jacob Vargas, Michael Rappaport, Richard C. Serafian, and Isaac Hayes, and a host of others. Anyway, this would be the last Dr. Dolittle film to be released. After this, there would be direct-to-video sequels, but I'll get to that later. In this film, the doctor who talks to animals is about to try to do his best to help the animals protect their forests from unscrupulous human developers. He decides to populate the forest with a species of animal that the law protects and enlists the help of a lone Pacific Western bear living in the condemned forest to provide with a mate. The doctor returns to a wisecracking circus performing bear. This film didn't quite do as well as make as much as its predecessor, but still did fine, what have you. Now, if you haven't seen my review of Dr. Dolittle from 1998, click on that card, and you can catch the video in case you might have missed it, or if you want to see it again, if you'd like. Just give me a sec. Okay, that ought to do it. Alright, on with the story. 3 years after the events of the first film, veterinarian Dr. John Dolittle's ability to talk to animals has made him famous, and he travels the world performing his skills. Returning home from France, he gives his daughter Maya a chameleon named Pepito, and punishes his elder daughter Charisse for doing poorly in school, confiscating her phone for a week. However, Charisse's boyfriend Eric joins the family for her 16th birthday party, where an opossum and a raccoon named Joy tell John that their boss, the God Beaver, which of course is a godfather of the rodent mafia, wants to see him. John meets the God Beaver and agrees to save the forest from being cut down by mating an endangered female Pacific Western bear with a male. At a circus, John persuades Archie, the sole surviving Pacific Western male, to accompany him to the forest and become a real bear. John takes his family on a month-long vacation to the forest, where he makes a deal with the sole surviving Pacific Western female bear named Ava, who is involved with a male Kodiak bear named Sonny. She agrees not to make any decisions for a month after John promises to turn Archie into a bear she will love. Struggling to train Archie, who is used to the pampered lifestyle, John hires the local forest creatures to chaperone Charisse and Eric and neglects his wife Lisa. After assuring Archie that he will find a way to win Ava's heart, John attempts to win Lisa back by dancing in their cabin, with every animal in the forest watching, but the family dog Lucky accidentally ruins it. Archie attempts to get Ava's attention by imitating John singing, which he sang in Lionel Richie's song Truly. But that's pretty darn funny. But falls from a tree branch. Humiliated, he refuses to leave his newfound cave. but becomes frustrated when John's insults and knocks him into a muddy hole, finally listening to his inner bear. Later, Archie spends the day with Ava, whose relationship with Sunny is declining. Lucky tries to woo a female wolf, successfully urinating around her territory, but is interrupted by one of her pack mates before she agrees to go out with him. Meanwhile, Sunny forces Ava to leave Archie. Logging magnate Joseph Potter and his lawyer Jack Riley attempt to make a deal with John to spare some parts of the forest until Archie tells John he has prepared his big finish to win Ava and goes after a beehive at the edge of a tall hill, ignoring John's warnings and the attacking bees, who also attack a nearby Riley. He manages to get the hive, finally winning Ava's heart and the respect of the other forest animals. Ava then dumps Sunny, finally having had enough of his rudeness to Archie. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and go to the rest of the film and, of course, the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid ending spoilers. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. In a game of hide and seek with Ava, Archie is tranquilized by Riley. John learns that Archie had somewhat destroyed the back of a restaurant. After getting information from a weasel, John visits Archie in jail, telling him that he may be too dangerous to go free and will be sold to a Mexican circus, ending John's chance of saving the forest. John realizes that Charisse has developed her father's gift of talking to animals, reigniting his determination to save the forest. He rallies the animals of the forest not to give up without a fight and free Archie. Charisse, Eric, and Maya rebel against the loggers with the aid of wolves, while word of Archie's predicament spreads, leading animals around the world to go on strike. At Potter Wood Industries, Mr. Potter and Riley are attacked by the animals. While Riley takes the brunt from the birds, wolves, and bees, Mr. Potter is cornered by Ava and Joy, forcing him to finally start negotiating with John and the animals. As the negotiations go on, the strike continues to grow with several animal pros like racehorses and Shamu getting in on the act. Finally, a deal is made and the Dolittles and animals accept freeing Archie and saving the entire forest outside San Francisco. John and Charisse become closer, talking with and helping animals together, while Archie and Ava may have 2 cubs who tried to take after their father. End of story. So what did I think of Dr. Dolittle 2? Well, I gotta say, I like this a little more than its predecessor, but don't take my word for it, okay? Believe me, and this has kind of become a guilty pleasure. I have watched this numerous times and what have you. I loved it. It was just so much fun. While it may not have come close to its predecessor, it made 176 million worldwide. And like its predecessor, it received mixed reviews. Currently, it sits at 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, and they say although there are laughs to be had in the film, its preoccupation with toilet humor and Murphy's restrained performance makes this a missed opportunity. Well, true, it does have toilet humor and what have you, but it does have some craziness and what have you. But I'll get to some of that in just a minute. Variety said that the film has all the symptoms of a surefire smash hit, knowing that it was more family than its predecessor, and that Eddie Murphy is once again in fine form. Yes, which this film actually got a PG rating from the MPA, which that's why I'm calling it as it is now, but it was MPAA back in the day, since its predecessor got a PG-13 rating. Roger Ebert said it cute, crude, and call it a cute, crude, and good-hearted movie. I will say yes, definitely. I think this was just so much fun. Now, David Newman did the score for the film, which wasn't too bad. It also had a soundtrack released on J Records, and it featured some pretty good songs. Well, from some various artists that were on the label, like O Town and Alicia Keys. Well, of course, this was just right about the time she actually made it. Let's see. Angie Stone, LFO, Next, and various others. Oh, yeah, and Wyclef Jean, the Project GMB. So, anyway, yeah, they were pretty good. Now, and I will say the story's not too bad here. I liked it for what it had to offer. And having animals save the forest, now that's something, definitely. Mm-hmm. Now, as for the humor and what have you, I will say I absolutely enjoyed it, especially when Archie feels hurt, well, embarrassed and what have you because of what he was said to him, and he just wouldn't come out and what have you before old Dr. Dolittle got all money and what have you. Yeah, it's just like, but Ava laughed at me. These people, oh, boo, Ava laughed at me. It's funny. There's a whole lot of other stuff, especially in the restaurant's restroom and what have you. Archie's stuff. They had like ice cream. Yeah, that was so crazy. It just came about. Belch is like, and Doc's like, hey, don't you throw up on me. It's like, that's not where it's coming from. Yeah, and it's on the can. Oh man, can't get the window of it. It's like, you had all that from ice cream? It's like, that's not just ice cream. That's not just ice cream. Oh man, you'll laugh your crazy head off at that. Oh dear, I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm getting carried away. Yeah, and well, he's trying to talk to the weasel and what have you. That's funny. It's and it's like, oh, you're such a weasel. It's like, why, thank you. It's the weasel. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Now, as for our cast, Eddie Murphy, once again, funny as Dr. Dolittle. Very good. Kristen Wilson returns as Lisa, his wife. She's still pretty good. Jeffrey Jones plays Joseph Parr. He does a good job. And Kevin Pollak plays Jack Riley. Mm-hmm. Raven-Symone plays Cherise once again. Kyla Pratt once again plays Maya, who would later go on to inherit the power to talk to animals. And actually, the previous, well, not previous year, but hang on a second. Yeah, right about at the same year, she actually would voice Penny Proud on Disney Channel's The Proud Family, and also play Brianna on the show One-on-One on the UPN network. Playing Cherise's boyfriend Eric is teen rapper Lil Zane. I believe yeah. Let's see. And his father is played by the late great James Avery of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fame, and of course, best known for voicing Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles most of the time. There's a lot of others. We even get a cameo from Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter. Now, as for our voice cast, Steve Zahn voices Archie, and he's absolutely really funny, especially after he voiced the cat Monty and Stuart Little, and the following year he would do him again, the sequel. He later re-teamed with Eddie Murphy for Daddy Daycare later on, which, fun fact, that film was directed by the same person who directed this, Steve Carr. He'd also gone to direct the Martin Lawrence basketball film, Rebound. Yeah. Norm Macdonald, rest in peace, once again voices Lucky. It's pretty good. Lisa Kudrow does the voice of Ava. She's very good. Mike Epps voices Sonny. He's good. Jacob Vargas, who I know him from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, and let's see, in Selena, voices Pepito. Richard C. Serafian voices the God Beaver. He's pretty good. Michael Rappaport, who I've seen him in Deep Blue Sea and The Sixth Day as Joy, the raccoon. Very funny. And Isaac Hayes voicing the possum. Yeah, really funny. We also have Phil Proctor, Andy Dick. He voices the weasel. Let's see, we have John Witherspoon, Cedric the Entertainer. Let's see. Oh yeah, and even the Bear Cubs, who was voiced by Frankie Muniz, who of course was big as TV's Malcolm in the Middle, and of course, Girl Bear Cub was teen superstar Mandy Moore, who the following year would be in A Walk to Remember. Oh, the list goes on. So overall, the music and score's good. The cast is pretty good. The story isn't too bad. The humor is absolutely crazy and what have you. So overall, Doctor Dolittle 2 is not too bad. After this, there were going to be 3 direct-to-video sequels. I haven't really seen any of them. I'm not quite interested in them because Kyla Pratt's the only member to return. Oh well. But with everything I've said about this film, would I recommend Doctor Dolittle 2? The answer is yeah. But just to be on the safe, well, from my opinion. But if you're but however, on the other hand, it could be maybe a one-time watch if you are a hardcore completionist of Doctor Dolittle. So I'd say it's a draw between yeah and give it a one-time watch. So it's a draw. So what did you think of Doctor Dolittle 2? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And we'll have another video coming up soon. Thanks for watching. If you like this, check out my reviews for these other films. Let's see. Which some of these films are pretty funny, and they've got some pretty good animal type feel to it. In the upper left-hand corner is my re-review of Disney's animated classic, The Rescuers from 1977. The upper right-hand corner is a back-to-back review I did of both Stuart Little and Stuart Little 2. Or if you would like maybe something that might just be a wee bit different, but it's not got animals involved, check out my review of a film I was just talking about with Mandy Moore, A Walk to Remember. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.